Hello and welcome back to GrapChats, your pro wrestling podcast. I am your host. My name is Steve Willis, and once again, I am joined. What's he doing? You love to play in the background. Here's Matty.
I was trying to say it as you were saying it, but then you didn't do your standard intro, so I had to just try and.
Keep you on your toes.
But I don't want to. I'm sitting down. Apologies for the people that listen to this, which Steve knows how many of you there is, and I don't. That last week didn't have much podcasty stuff happening in it. My life got far too hectic, and there was no room to fit a podcast in it. In fact, there was no room to fit a bunch of stuff in it. So this is like a slightly abridged, slightly different podcast that has bits and pieces, and not all the bits and pieces, but the bits and pieces that it has is about wrestling. So that covers what we talk about.
All of the bits and pieces yet to come. Now, the main bit and piece, given that in our last episode we spoke at length about a certain show called All in Texas, and the main chunk of this episode is going to be Matty telling all of us, including his nan, what happened at Globe Life Field in where was it?
Texas. Arlington, Texas.
Arlington, Texas. And we're going to find out what went down, because there was quite a bit that went down. It was a very long show. Just shy of 6 hours?
I think it's like it has the record as like the longest show in North America now. That said, it flew. It did not feel like 6 hours. And like it started our time, I think 5 a.m.
Yeah. I did not watch it live.
I did. And I didn't feel bad about doing that. I did later when I was tired. But like at the time, no, and like it flew by. It really, really did.
It didn't feel like you were burning a day.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
As an extra shout out, just because it was a show that happened just beforehand, and now that all of Ravy Davey Meltzer's reviews have already come out, the night before was Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, happened the night before. That was main evented by Konosuke Takeshita taking on Bandito for the ROH World Title, which received Dave Meltzer's like highest rating for the entirety of the weekend. You should watch that match if you can find it somewhere. Like honestly, like I know I shouldn't. Like whatever, however the pirate seas you need to sail, like just go and do it. It's so goddamn good. Well
worth it.
It's so goddamn good. Even like afterwards, like in an interview, like Zack Sabre Jr. spoke about Takeshita and said he is a one-of-a-kind athlete, and it's a one-of-a-kind situation. 3 contracts, 3 companies, 2 countries, championships, major tournaments, all of that. Now that he's also over in the G1, he won his opening round match against Gabe Kidd. Is easy to say he's a guy everyone wants to wrestle, and like, oh man, he's so good. So yes, definitely go and find a way to check that out if you can. We will fly through some of the 0 hour stuff, which is obviously the pre-show stuff. There was an 8-man tag, Sons of Texas, which is Dustin Rhodes, Ross and Marshall Von Erich and Sammy Guevara defeated Shane Taylor Promotions of Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Charlie Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean. This was just a fun, big multi-man affair, mostly because it's Texas and the Von Erichs were there. Kevin Von Erich came down with them and at one point, like, hit the claw, I think, Anthony Ogogo, and the place still went ballistic. It is insane that the Iron Claw is still that over in the year of our Lord 2025. Absolute madness. Very, very cool. Faces win that match. Sweet. Then there was another 8-man tag, which involved Don Callis family, Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta, versus the Conglomeration, Hologram, Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle O'Reilly, who came back to the Conglomeration for one night only, and Big Boom AJ of TikTok Costco guy fame, came out. Rizzler was there. They had this weird backstage segment where like Tomohiro Ishii is walking backstage with a cowboy hat on and walks up to the Rizzler and like puts it on him, and then the Rizzler like kind of like stoically nods and then does the. It was very silly and dumb, but very very fun. Again, faces win this because the final match of the pre-show was a rematch of a tag team classic from recent times, FTR versus the Outrunners. The Outrunners had gear on that looked like Newport cigarette cases, which is fantastic. Well done, the Outrunners. Very, very good match again. Not quite as good as the one they had, I think, on Collision a couple weeks ago. But definitely worth... It was really good. But definitely worth having out there. I mean, like, FTR are so damn good, obviously. The Outrunners are definitely kind of finding their stride. Anytime you get to see Stokely interact is there as well. Stokely did a little bit of interfering and trickery, and then we had FTR pick up the win on that one. We see them later on for commentary during the tag title matchup. So, first match of the full ash show is the World Trios titles, the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Katsuyori Shibata versus the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd, who's over here kind of on loan. This was exactly the kind of match it sounds like it would be. Very, very stiff, very, very hard hitting. Poor Wheeler Yuta just took most of it. Just got absolutely annihilated. For me, man of the match for this one was Big Powerhouse Hobbs. Just looked so damn cool, so damn strong. There was this amazing bit where he was, towards the end of the match, he was up on like the shoulders for kind of like a doomsday device type spot. And as Wheeler launched off the top, Hobbs caught him and rotated midair into a power slam, like off Claudio's shoulders. Hectic. Like, just one of those things you see.
The idea that Wheeler Yuta is facing, right? Think about it. You got Shibata, who is all technique and incredibly violent. Hobbs, who is both large and meaty. And Samoa Joe, who is both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's pretty much 50% Shibata, 50% Hobbs, because he's large, meaty, and has technique, and he's brutally violent.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's rough day for Yuta, and it's rough day for heels all round.
It was a very feel-good show for the most part, which was fun to see. Look, what you described plays into the finish because boy did Samoa Joe hit a muscle buster with some extra stank on Wheeler Yuta. Like,
I remember that now.
He like spun and hit it like he's like, this one's counting, and slammed down Wheeler Yuta. Faces pick up the win. But after the bout, in kind of the frustration, I think in my brain the heels went, we cannot leave Samoa Joe alive. Like, he will immediately cost us in the main event. He has to go. So they like laid out everybody. Like Shibata got a pile driver. Hobbs took a bunch of chair shots, and then Claudio had the chair wrapped around his head and then stomped on it on Samoa Joe. Yeah, and that we had like Samoa Joe stretch it away as the in frustration, and I think to help out their boss later on, they took out Samoa Joe. Next up was the men's Casino Gauntlet, which was I really like the Casino Gauntlet as a match. Like, battle royals are already fun. I like that there's no set amount of time, and I also like the idea that we're just gonna keep sending people until someone wins. Like, it could be 4, it could be 44. Like, we're just going to keep sending out bodies until eventually someone gets the win.
Gets pinned or submitted, yeah.
Yes. Started with the two people we knew it was going to start with, which is MJF and Mark Briscoe, who started off the match. That was kind of all fire, like, kind of just like chopping the absolute hell out of each other. Ricochet was in next, who aligned with MJF to take out Mark Briscoe until immediately getting betrayed by MJF. Then Bandito came out to try and turn the tide. Then we had Keshta come out after that, after his main event from yesterday, obviously hitting back against Bandito. Then Mystico came out doing some more lucha. Josh Alexander was in after that. They had this like crazy triangle moonsault sequence during this as well, with like Mystico did this hit like big top rope plancha. It's all over the place. Anthony Bowens is out. Roderick Strong comes out. Big Brody King comes out and runs absolutely wild. Like everyone gets cannonballs. Like Brody King looked goddamn amazing. Hearing that full stadium of people barking along with him was awesome. Just bulldozed everybody. Then after this one, I think was Juice Robinson made his return. Yes. Clean shaven, which is odd for me. Like Juice Robinson as a wild man, but no facial hair seems wrong. But like, he's a very handsome man, so we'll allow it. We'll allow it. We'll let it be. So that happened. Then the Gates of Agony came out to try and like help Ricochet out, obviously, like to interfere. So then the Guns came out to help out Juice Robinson to tie those guys up and send them to the back. Hit their big 310 to Yuma as their finish. Ricochet almost got a pin during this, but then MJF kind of broke it up last second. After that was Kota Ibushi who came out and just started kicking the absolute hell out of everybody. Big standing moonsaults. Beast Mortos was out after that. Coming here like this crazy kind of code breaker move, like lung blower thing on Anthony Bowens, which looked awesome. And then Max Caster came out as I think 14th entrant. Barely made it to the ring before being tripped up by Bowens and then absolutely blasted by Roderick Strong. And then back in the ring, Mark Briscoe hit the J Driller on Roderick Strong. And MJF throws him out the ring, steals the pin for himself. MJF is the winner of the men's casino gauntlet match and has his world title shot for whenever he'd like to use it.
So in the Hurt Syndicate right now, we have our tag team champions and the number one contender for the world title. It's a good day to be MVP.
It is a very good day to be MVP. Someone it was not a very good day for was Adam Cole. So Adam Cole is out next to essentially say he is unable to defend the TNT title. That match has been changed from him versus Kyle Fletcher to Kyle Fletcher versus Sammy Guevara versus Dustin Rhodes versus... Who was the last one? Oh, Danny Garcia. To now determine the new TNT champion. He kind of relinquishes the belt. He says he's dealing with an injury. He doesn't know when he's going to be able to be back. They think it's kind of like concussion related. Apparently, according to news sites, and like it was, I think Brian Alvarez talked about this. They said that like he kind of cooler heads prevailed because he was ready to kind of like retire right then and there. But they're like, that seems like, that's a lot. That seems like it's a bit much. Where did I write it? I wrote it somewhere that like, to put it in perspective, Adam Cole has been injured or in recovery for 21 out of the last 36 months. Yeah.
Very unfortunate for Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I would love to see him stay in some capacity if he can get healthy and whatever, concussion related issues may or may not be there, if he can get those behind him and get cleared, great. If not, I'd be happy to see him stick around in some sort of general manager role or just something. I'd hate to see him go completely.
Look, he's clearly got the mind for it too, obviously. Like, if he wants to produce or he wants to train or do all those kinds of things, like, obviously the man still wants to wrestle.
Yeah.
But, like, he is an incredible talent, well worth having throughout his, PWG and ROH, NXT, and he's
a great talker as a face or a heel as well.
He's just like a great guy. For me, like his Twitch stream stuff, I guess, even if you just kept him as like an ambassador for the company, you know what I mean? Like send him out to do media. Like he's so instantly charismatic and lovable.
Yeah. But
it's just funny that he plays such a douche.
Yeah. Do you think AEW needs a general manager type character on television.
I don't think they need it currently, especially after they just did. They have the stuff with the EVPs and all that kind of thing. So I think less people of power for a little bit, but it could definitely be something that could come up and around.
Yeah,
even if he's just managing like Kyle and Roddy as like a tag team, like allow it, man. Like if you want to have some people take tag titles off of like whoever like win them at the end of this match, like someone that could try and dethrone the Hurt Syndicate, like Kyle and Roddy are a great pick.
And because I know like Tony Khan has said before, like he doesn't want to take airtime away from the talent, and I get that 100%. But in moments where you're like a match needs to be announced to further a feud, I'm fine with just Big Tony getting the microphone and just doing it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just come out and say, okay, this match is on at the next pay-per-view or whatever, and then that's it. He's not taking a great deal of airtime away from anyone, and it furthers the current feud.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that TNT title match is on after this. Dustin Rhodes, Daniel Garcia, Carl Fletcher, Sammy Guevara. Obviously a hard thing to follow with, the kind of the announcement after that. But everyone works really, really hard. It goes balls to the wall. In probably the least expected result, but something that was really wonderful with hindsight. Dustin Rhodes wins the TNT title in his home state of Texas. Absolutely breaks down by like kind of reversing this kind of like small package into the pin. The crowd don't give him this giant pop that like builds over time. Like it's this cheer, and then they see him break down, and then the cheer kind of like gums up again. Like I had a friend that was there who talked about that there were people around him like crying, like in the crowd, like, which I think is wonderful. Really cool idea to kind of have that big like feel good moment for a legend like Dustin Rhodes after something, an announcement of that magnitude.
I can't remember now where I first heard this. It was on a podcast somewhere, but they said sometimes a championship can be used as a lifetime achievement award, and that's okay. And this is a great example of that. Another great example, like from a while ago now, was Kofi Mania. Yeah, like having Kofi win the title at WrestleMania the way he did, and now having Dustin win the TNT title, like it's you have earned this over the long period of time that you've been doing this. So here's an award, and you deserve it. And they get the chant and everything. I love this. I love this for Dustin. I actually like this as well for Kyle Fletcher, because I think when Kyle Fletcher wins the title eventually, it should be a big, definitive, triumphant one-on-one win.
Also, because he's probably going to, like, kill Dustin stone dead. Dustin will bleed buckets for it. Like, it'll make Kyle look like a proper, like, ass. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to really make a heel out of him, like, it'll work. But no, I agree with your sentiment. It reminds me of the saying, it's nice to give people their flowers while they're still around to smell them. And that's kind of what this feels like it is. So it was pretty great. Speaking of pretty great, up next is the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. If the Bucks win, neither of the other gentlemen can challenge the world title for a year. If Will and Swerve win, the Bucks are no longer EVPs. First things first, everyone's entrance, dope. Ospreay gets this cool Assassin's Creed one. Swerve has, was it like Jojo Offerman, the Bray Wyatt's, Wyndham Rotunda's widow, sing, like Shaka Khan, which was his like indie, entrance theme. They also had the Titantron behind. Jojo Offerman had little, fireflies in it, which was a beautiful touch. Then there was like a parchment declaration for for Justin Roberts to read out as the Young Bucks approach, like on a ship, essentially. Yeah. Also, everyone got so much pyro. They blew up Will especially. Will had like 5 different instances of pyro. They blew up the sky for Will Ospreay. It was insane. And then the match was also insane. This is a Young Bucks tag team match that features Swerve and Will Ospreay. It's going to be very fast and very flippy and very all over the place and with very inventive offense. You've seen what this match looks like before. If this isn't the type of match you like, this probably isn't going to change your mind. If this is the type of match you like, oh boy, it's really good. Like, they went nuts. It's so insane. Like, there are just the sequences of like counter to counter to counter to counter to flip to move to like just I couldn't describe it all. Just jaw-droppingly impressive combos. The point where like Swerve gets in front of Ospreay to take the bullets for him the same way Ospreay took the bullet for Swerve weeks earlier to kind of like pay that back at a round. There was like a Swerve Stomp assisted tombstone at one point that still didn't put him away. There were EVP triggers that didn't put anyone away. There was a Stomp assisted Stormbreaker. Like, is unreal. The final moment is I think Matt Jackson in the ring all alone. Ospreay takes off the elbow pad, and it is a house call hidden blade sandwich. And that's your lot. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks are no longer EVPs. And oh my god, what a ridiculous match. And also another feel-good face victory, which was amazing. Which was very, very fun. Yeah, this is the point. Like, I think from this match onwards, especially, like, the first part of the show was good, but not we're not phenomenal, especially with the stuff with like what happened with Adam Cole and all those kinds of bits and pieces. And I think everything from this match onwards, for me, super delivered. And this was like this is where it starts building and building and building. Your next match is the Women's Casino Gauntlet match for the next shot at the Women's World Title. This was Statlander and Megan Bayne started this one. So you just had Hoss women doing Hoss women things, which was pretty amazing. Then Willow Nightingale comes in third. So you still have Hoss women doing Hoss women things. Ty Mello is in next after that. Gets this big spinning Bulldog and Statlander, which looked amazing. There was interference from Penelope Ford and Anna Jay during this thing. And also a returning Harley Cameron who showed up to help out to stick it to Penelope and Megan, which was great. Heckler comes out after this, hits a crazy amount of offense. Big like doomsday device from Bane and Chris for on Willow, which would look gnarly, which was super fun. Julia Hart is out after that. Big diving moonsault immediately and does like the old school like walk the ropes into a lariat, which was pretty goddamn cool. Sky Blue comes out to try and like help out with her. Queen Aminata is out next and just stiffs a bunch of people with headbutts immediately, which was pretty phenomenal to see. Then Mina Shirakawa hits the ring, kind of wipes out Sky Blue, wipes out a bunch of people. She goes for like the deathlock on Statlander, but that gets broken up. Then Athena comes out ninth, and she clears house, suplexes, big elbows, hits a tombstone on Queen Aminata. Like, then we wait the countdown. Thunder Rosa is out next, who challenged Athena the night prior, unsuccessfully for Athena's Ring of Honor World Women's title. And then that goes crazy. Then Suri makes her AEW debut, comes out and just starts lighting people up. Snapmares, wicked kicks. Like, she looked really, really cool. Was very, very fun to see. And then Alex Windsor is the next one out. Recently signed Alex Windsor. She goes straight after Suri. Big spiking DDT. Hits this big blue thunder driver. It's kind of all going all over the place. The bodies are kind of piling on bodies. Thunder Rosa and Mina kind of jockeying in the ring. Mina Shirakawa hits this like sling blade, then hits the buzzsaw kick, then goes to apply the figure 4 lead lock. And as she's doing it, Athena comes out of goddamn nowhere off the top rope, hits the O-face, and secures the win. just like I called it. And the winner of the women's casino gauntlet is Athena. Yes. Athena, like, getting the idea that she will be on and around AEW television more these days is chef's kiss.
Because she's like been running shit in the Ring of Honor women's division,
Forever champ,
but
man.
it's so good to see her on AEW television again. Yeah.
She will be, because she'll be challenged for that world title. Maybe she'll get to have both. Who knows? Who knows? Speaking of people, speaking of champs, World Tag Team titles up next. Hurt Syndicate taking on Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. This is a very, very fun one. It's a triple tag team match. That's always going to be all over the place. Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey of Jet Speed are going crazy fast. Christian Cage and Nick Wayne are kind of spend the time trying to be like as sneaky as they can be. And then the Hurt Syndicate are just all muscle. There's another instances where Bobby just like picks up a guy and just launches. There was one, I think Shelton hit someone with a German suplex from inside the ring over the ropes to people on the outside. It looked nuts. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it was very much full mayhem towards the end of it. We tried to get like a kill switch on Lashley towards the end from Christian Cage, who shoved him indirectly into FTR, who were watching from ringside and commentating during the match, which kind of like caused the kind of interruption. And then Bobby Lashley hits a big ass spear on Christian Cage, pins Christian to retain the World Tag Team titles. After the bell, FTR climb into the ring. They're not happy of being caught in the crossfire. As Christian is kind of leading him and his prodigal son out of the ring, Nick Wayne turns on his mentor, hits Christian Cage with the kill switch himself, very much in the same way that Christian did to, I think it would have been Jack Perry many, many moons ago now. FDR kind of looked on in disbelief, but then also kind of did the like, hey, okay, sweet. They got some chairs out. Mama Wayne is there. And they're going to do the concerto to Christian. And then ringing out through the stadium is You Think You Know Him. Big Adam Copeland runs out eventually to make the save. He hits his full entrance with Spike, with the bat, gets the full pyro and everything. This is the one instance where I think that like the full entrance is justified to me. Because it's one of those things where they're like, they could have just like killed Christian and ran away. But I think in their brain is like, he's where we have to leave and he's holding a board with nails in it. Like, just let him do his thing and he'll come in and then we could run away.
Yeah, it's still sort of a meme from when Jeff Hardy did it. Like, I've got to quickly get down there and make the save. Wait, I've got to do my fucking dance.
Let me fucking dance first.
And now, here's Cope doing his thing. And they're like, hey man, you're in a hurry to beat the concerto.
But I was about a great moment.
Get your spiked bat and run.
Yeah. Cope gets in, hits some big ass spears, saves Christian from certain death, and then picks him up off the ground with the microphone. And a wonderful callback to the start of their feud, and just says, go find yourself. And then leaves, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful touch. Up next is our the first of what they called like the triple main event. It is the AEW Women's World Championship match between Timeless Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. Big entrances for both of them again. Mercedes has this kind of like long robe with this long train that has the names of all the people she's defeated over her various title reigns. And she also had like 6 cheerleaders that came out with her, and all of them were wearing one of her belts, which I thought was cool. Very, very fun. Again, both of them get all the goddamn pyro, and this was such a good match. So competitive, so back and forth. Just all over the place, from like the hip attack in the corner to the suplexes. The clip that's doing the rounds on Instagram right now is when Tony reverses a maneuver into almost like a pile driver type position and decides to just bite Mercedes right on the cooch. I think it's legitimately at like almost 50 million views on Instagram. It's a metric fuck ton. It's so silly. Tony gets a big Storm Zero a couple times, but is kicked out of. Towards the end, she hits like 3 back to back, which she still kind of kicks out. Can't put Mercedes away with. At which point, Tony Storm puts her up onto like the top turnbuckle, gives her a big old kiss on her other set of lips this time, and hits a Storm Zero from an Avalanche Storm Zero to retain her title. What a goddamn match. Mercedes' first loss since leaving WWE, I think.
If you're gonna...
No, she lost to Willow. Never mind, disregard.
Yes, that was an injury. But
the injury, yep.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to end a winning streak like that, you've got to do it in a big way, and they absolutely did that.
Yeah, huge main event feel. Crowd was super into it. Absolutely ridiculous from start to finish.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal match. It's one of those things where like it's like one of my favorite matches of all time was Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21. Funnily enough, in the year of our Lord 2005. And like there's nothing remarkable about that match. Like, no one does something so ridiculous that you're like, oh, I can't. It's just really good. Like you just feel it and you're in it, and like it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that crazy of a thing, but it's so good. And this was that. Like, it's so good, despite the fact it's not going to be gifable outside of the one thing doing the rounds on Instagram.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, yeah.
Do you think, given Tony's character, do you think that pile driver variation will become part of her normal...
No.
No, it's a special one-off, I think.
No, I think it's special. Special. I think she was so funny in the post media kind of scrum thing afterwards.
Oh yeah,
she's always in there like being absolutely hilarious. Like, and they're just like, "What was the deal with you and Mercedes?" She's like, "I just really wanted to do it. I just really wanted to do it forever." So
yeah,
I did. And then she stole Renee at the end of it too. Like that was the end of Renee being. She goes, "I must have you," and just picked her up and carried her off. Like she just left with Renee.
Yeah. Queer icon.
Yeah, not the greatest night for poor Mox. His wife got stolen. Our semi-main event, I suppose, is for the AEW Unified Championship between the Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada and the International Champion Kenny Omega. Both of them full entrances, full big match entrance,
on
especially Kenny.
Shit.
Oh my god. Jason Charles Miller out there singing it with a choir with a flaming Omega symbol, like just you beautiful, beautiful theater kid. And then this was a continuation of their wonderful, wonderful rivalry. It is a weird thing to say that this is by far and away the worst match that these two guys have had, while still being excellent.
Tremendous match, yeah.
Still being really, but it's also like their last match was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Kenny almost died last year. Like it is a match that shows where they've both progressed, I guess, as people over the course of time. But yeah, it's nuts. It's all the V triggers. It's all your big drop kicks. It's all your big DDTs, all your big tombstone pile drivers. Then towards the end where you get Kenny hit like 17 V triggers, you could never knee a man in the head enough time. There's an avalanche dragon suplex, which was pretty insane, actually, as far as a spot goes. Kenny did hit the one wing angel, but the ref was pulled out of the ring by Don Callis to protect Okada. Right towards the end, kind of both men are on their knees, exchanging blows. Omega counters this like Rainmaker, tries to get another V trigger. But Okada kind of absorbs that, and then he hits the next shot, and then he hits a Rainmaker. Kazuchika Okada is your inaugural AEW Unified Champion. celebrates with Don Callis. There's this wonderful shot of as Kota Ibushi is walking away with Kenny. Okada's just in the ring looking at him, holding the belt, being like, ha ha! Like, just the biggest dipshit.
Yeah.
Just being an absolute dickhead. Just like, look what I got. Like, total shenaniganry. But again, the worst match they've ever had. Still one of the best wrestling matches you'll ever see. Like, still absolutely amazing.
There's something about those two, man. Something about them. It just clicks. Magic happens.
And then your main event is for the AEW Men's World Championship between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. Hangman's entrance is this kind of like long vignette of him like looking over like a sunset to sunrise and like walking back on the stables to kind of put his hands on a saddle, which I guess is the idea of like, you have to get back in the saddle now, cowboy. And then his original theme hits, like Ghost Town Triumph hits, and I yelled. I remember like a year or so ago when he got that new theme, I remember saying he's going to turn face at some point and they're going to play the old theme and it's going to hit like crack. And it did. It like, he comes out, huge pop, more pyro, all the pyro, blow up the sky.
I'm glad he didn't come out on a horse because it would have spooked the living shit.
Would have gone.
That horse.
Oh, and the tiny little bit at the start where the camera is filming like the heel entrance, and then and then snaps across because he's come out of the face tunnel. Like, mwah, beautiful. Mox and the Death Riders make their entrance on like a giant truck, like big pickup truck type thing. Storm in.
Very Texas. Yep.
And then it starts real hot. They start hitting each other. You immediately, like, Mox gets a fork, swings for Hangman. Hangman pulls a fork out of his, like, boot that he had stashed. And they've uploaded a clip of Hanger hitting Mox in the head with his fork in slow motion. Yeah, it's disgusting.
From a triangle choke. And yeah.
And you can see it just spurred out of his head, immediately bleeding. It's disgusting. So Hanger kind of has like the start like of the violence there. And then you get some like more gouging after that, and then there's like Marina Shafir gets in, and then Moxley has the barbed wire steel chair that he body slams him onto, and then puts it in the corner and like throws Hanger into. Then there's a table set up on the outside. Then a bunch of glass gets pulled in. He puts some glass in the ring. Tries to hit like a pile driver into it and can't initially, so just drags Hangman like back first through it, which was disgusting. He's kind of getting beaten now. Mox is firmly in control now, but Hanger won't stay down. He takes this moment when like these two chairs are set up while kind of Mox is like, I'm beating up your hero, to turn them around so the points are facing each other, and then Hanger power bombs Mox onto the points of the chair, which is awful. Which is just awful. Wheeler Yuta gets in and tries to interfere, hits the chair to the back. But Hanger hits him with like the Angel's Wings, like Christopher Daniels finish. Then Marina Shafir tries to interfere. She gets a Death Valley driver through the tables on the outside. Page hits a Deadeye into the glass that was set up earlier. Like, it's fucking gross. Then you got Claudio and Gabe Kidd come out to kind of like swarm him and overwhelm and try and beat him up. Will Ospreay comes down to make the save, hits him like, did some chair shots, and then Claudio kind of takes out Ospreay. Ospreay gets the same thing Samoa Joe got, gets Pillmanized around the neck, so he has to be stretched out. At that point, like, Mox has the advantage now, like, your allies are kind of dying off and dying away. There's this suplex on the outside through barbed wire tables. Then the Bulldog choke in the ring, but he still won't finish it. Hits a Death Rider under a setup chair, but Hangman's still standing up. So at this point, he's like, stuff it. We kill him the way we started this. So he gets the plastic bag passed to him. And he's going to put the bag over the head. As he goes to do this, Tron lights up with what appears to be the top of the world. a video taken at the top of Mount Everest as Darby Allin in a video filmed says that he promised that he would get his revenge and he plans on delivering it. But he's not the first one to deliver it because the first person in the ring wearing a goddamn Blue Panther mask is Bryan Danielson, who hits Yuta with the big running knee, then starts kicking the crap out of Gabe and Claudio, hits this big dive onto the outside on them, which apparently he was not cleared to do, but he was just feeling it, so he did it anyway. God bless both of them for catching him as well as they did. Then we have Darby Allin rappels down like Sting from the ceiling from the rafters. Apparently he'd been up there the whole show. Someone got a photo from like the opening matches of just like, there's a guy just sitting up in the rafters watching the show. Darby been up there for 6 hours. He just sat up. The absolute psychopath.
Yeah.
Absolute psychopath. He rappels down, like helps interrupt, hits another big coffin drop onto more of the baddies on the outside. At this point, Mox tells Marina Shafir, go and get the briefcase to help me out. So she goes around to the timekeeper's table. And as she goes to reach it, she is handcuffed to the table sneakily by Prince Nana, who appears from underneath it and starts like taunting her fantastically. Then we have the Young Bucks show up and hit Super Kick Party and the EVP trigger to try and like still finally hang her away. And then this is when Mox goes and gets the bed of nails from under the ring. That gets slid in there. First, he is stomped onto it. He gets given the Seth Rollins stomp. And then he hits a Death Rider head first onto that board of nails. And yet somehow that goddamn bastard survives. So Mox is kind of going like ballistic at this point. And then Swerve Strickland makes his way down the ramp with the chain given to him by Hanger on the previous collision. Slams both of the Bucks. And then hands the chain across to Hangman, who hits Mox in the head with it, wraps him around, levels him with it. Then levels him with it, goes to the outside, hits a buckshot lariat on Mox that drops him back first onto the bed of nails, his whole back. He takes the full bump on a bed of nails. And then, in what is one of the best sells in recent memory, Hanger takes the chain, wraps it around Mox's neck, throws him over the top rope, and Mox sells this like literal death. Like he is kicking and squirming, and his legs are flailing, and his face is changing color, and he's clawing at his neck. Like he's trying to get his weight under him onto the apron, and he finally does. And he watches his face realize that it doesn't matter, that he's still going to just like choke me into unconsciousness. And Jon Moxley taps out. Hangman Adam Page is your new AEW Men's World Champion. He gets emotional, he yells, he cries. The briefcase is handed to him. He has this moment where you watch him burst into tears just before he gets it open. He opens the briefcase. Inside of it is the AEW Men's World Championship with Bryan Danielson's side plate still on it because that title got thrown in there and then was never seen again. And your final shot is Hangman standing on the bed of nails in the ring with the belt above his head and even more pyro going off. And that is how All In ended, and I wept.
What a moment! Like,
oh,
it was so satisfying. Just see him get there, and sort of this whole chapter in AEW history is over, and now we can move on to other things, and everything's good for now. We're very happy right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, I've had, a week to process it, and it's still just like over a week, obviously. And so good. So good. I don't remember who said it. I remember hearing the quote somewhere talking about it. But if people like a Hulk Hogan or like a John Cena were like the power fantasy of like your good guy being like Superman, you know what I mean? Like superhuman, could like, Hulk up and take unlimited punishment, beat the bad guys. Then Hangman Adam Page is the kind of babyface power fantasy of being a good man. Just a person who is flawed and has all of the realities of humanity, and despite it is trying their darndest to be a good man. And it's so good. I know you really do only remember the ending and how they'd stick the landing, because like it did help a lot of the Death Rider stuff feel better than it was. I know there were lots of bits and pieces of it that were very meh, especially right at the start of this year, like the stuff with Cope, and the way the Swerve match ended. But like Brian Alvarez talked about it in their review of it, where he said everything that Jon Moxley ever said in all of his promos essentially came true. He always told you what the deal was. He said someone eventually will be able to figure it out and band together and be able to beat me. And until then, you don't get to see this belt until someone can like put it all together and put their shit aside and step up to the plate and be the man. And then that is exactly what we got. Someone got there and became the guy to do it. And it was just, they will never make me hate you, Mox. Especially after that, especially the fact that both of them then like wrestled the preceding Dynamite, the absolute sociopaths.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think if Mox is allowed to take any time off, like after 5 days, he'll have gone mad and just be like stabbing himself with a fork for fun. So I don't think he knows how to take time off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Not a holiday kind of guy.
What a goddamn show, man. So good. Especially like when the payoff is fully worth it.
Yeah. That was my takeaway at the end of it. Like, it was a very, very long show, but absolutely worth it.
Like I said, especially when it especially like I said, from the Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay onwards was just like everything was amazing. Everything was great. So yeah, that show flew by. You talk for a bit. I'm running out of voice.
Okay. So much has happened. We do still have a Raw and SmackDown review to get through.
Yeah, you do that bit.
Yeah, I'll do that bit. You take a breather. Okay. So, main takeaway we need to keep in mind is that at the end of Evolution, it was a match between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the Women's World Title. Naomi cashed in Money in the Bank.
What a match, too. God damn.
Tremendous match. Incredible match. It went so well, and I'm not mad at the finish. Like, Naomi came in, she did her cash in, she won the title. Good for Naomi. She absolutely has earned it 1,000 times over. So Raw opens with a promo from our new champion, Naomi. Comes out, cuts a promo on the fans about sort of how smart she is for her cash-in strategy. Okay, cool. Io and Rhea come out, clearly, displeased with Naomi for obvious reasons. And Adam Pearce books a 3-way title match for SummerSlam. Now, SummerSlam is at the end of next week. It's a 2-night event.
Oh, yeah, it is too. Yeah.
Yeah, we better start putting some matches on the card, eh? So that's our theme throughout the episode. So the match is
Get
on.
her done.
Yep. Next up, okay, also, quite the ladies get their time to shine in this episode of Raw as well. There is a grand total of 1 men's match on the whole card. And it's a nice little change. I like it. And the matches were quite good. We have Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez versus the Kabuki Warriors. Judgment Day took a beating in this match. Like, they were on the cell most of the match. And it took a bit of sneaky interference from Dominic for there to be a sneaky roll up. We're gonna roll up win. Roxanne got the roll up win on Kairi Sane to end the match. And it was good because we're setting up for more. The women's tag division, I think, is actually going to get some attention paid to it, which is good. Next match was the standout. Absolutely the standout. 2 out of 3 falls. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Bayley got the first fall. Now, it led to a good moment in the first fall because Lyra had an injury scare. Whether it was real or fake, it's hard to say. But they had that moment of Bayley questioning whether she could take advantage of the injury scare. Like, kind of similar to what Cody had already done earlier this year. But Bayley is able to do that, and that's why she got the first fall. Lyra came back, got the second and the third, and it was announced after that it would be Lyra versus Becky. The rematch is on for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam.
I do wonder what's going on with Bayley.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, it feels like one of those things where, like, I know there's all the rumors that she could be like one foot out the door, especially with like Mercedes and the run that she's on. Obviously, and the Bayley being like, "Join us." But yeah, like, I don't know. I hope she gets something like big and grand to do. Because to be left off both Mania and SummerSlam would be an overwhelming dick move.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, she's equally as good as a face or a heel. I mean, she's a tremendous wrestler. There's no question there. But the fact that, heel Bayley is good, is really good. And babyface Bayley, equally as good.
Yeah.
So,
again,
I think
I hope she has something cool to do.
Because they could turn her either way, I think they'll probably end up doing that. I'm hoping it's not like a Big Show-esque face, heel, back and forth kind of deal. But because Bayley could pull it off, they will probably do it. Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. Very quick match. Like, they did not give these two much time at all. Nikki won fairly easily, and leading just to an angle, basically, the Secret Hervis coming to beat up Nikki, and Stephanie Vaquer runs in to make the save, and that was this segment. It's as if Nikki comes back and the Divas booking came back with her. They got a very few amount of minutes. Not many minutes at all. And the rest of the show from this point is a gauntlet match to determine a new number 1 contender for Gunther and the World Heavyweight Championship. What a showcase this was for Bron Breakker. Like, they clearly have big plans for him. So he comes in, he beats Penta off the bat and not a lot of time. Like, and Penta, he's as great as he always has been. But yeah, had Breakker beat him fairly easily. Next in was LA Knight. They went back and forth for quite a while. And Breakker had to resort to heel tactics, a rake of the eyes, to get the win over LA Knight. And sort of that gradual little bit of more heel kind of keeps going throughout the match, because next in is Jey Uso, and it took some interference from Big Bronson Reed to give Bron Breakker a chance to beat Jey. Right at the end, the last entrant is one Charles Montgomery Punk. So Bronson Reed goes to do another run-in for Punk. Jey Uso spoils it, stops it from happening. And Punk gets the win over Bron Breakker after Breakker just carried the entire match. Although, still, Bron Breakker ended up looking tremendous at the end of this match. Now, Reed and Breakker beat up the babyfaces post-match just to do their normal beat everyone up and stand tall thing until a certain large canine re-entered the fray. Roman Reigns is back. The big dog is here once again. Big OTC chants from the crowd. They were going absolutely off. And, yeah, big moment. It was cool at the time, but like, okay, yeah, cool, Roman's back. Seth is injured, so it makes sense. And that was how the show ended.
I'm gonna have some opinions real quick.
Sure.
CM Punk in the year of our Lord 2025 doesn't do a lot for me. He is an unbelievably good talker. He can still wrestle a perfectly fine match, but like I don't need to see him in the like big long main events, just because like it's just not. Again, maybe it's like it could very well just be a me where like I like the wrestling part of my wrestling, but like he's just older and like not as capable of doing it, and that like he hasn't done that like beating time thing in the same way that like AJ Styles has, or a Shelton Benjamin, who somehow look better than they did when they were younger, because somehow he's closer to me to like watching Chris Jericho in 2025. Like, can he have a good match? Totally. Yeah. Could he have like perfectly fine passable matches? Absolutely. But I'd rather see someone else. I'd rather it be a Penta or a Braun, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather see someone else. And how many times is Roman going to return? I understand he's the most over thing. Like, I have eyes and ears. Like, I can see it and hear it. But like, he shows up and makes some faces and like hits a couple Superman punches and wipes out his best ooh-ah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, you know, and then I'm not excited for like, I know what a Roman Reigns match is going to be. It's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of posturing, and a couple punches and some ooh-ah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested. I don't like the Bloodline thing went on long enough as it is. And like, it's just, it's probably totally biased thing. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that if you like it, you suck. It's just,
I'd like to see something different from him now.
Yeah. But also the lazy bastard in me goes, he has 2 sets of twins. He has 5 kids. If he can get paid a shit ton of money to show up 4 times a year, more power to you. I would take, what's the bit at the end of Inglourious Bastards? You'd be like, I'd take that deal. Like, yeah, I'd take that damn good deal. Like, I'd take that deal in a 100%.
100%. You know, now that it's a multi-billion-dollar international corporation, take as much money as you can from them while giving them minimal in return.
Yeah, look, if you can work the most for while doing the least,
but man. Maybe do something different than what you've been doing for the past 5 years.
As a viewer, I find it boring. But if I was in his shoes, nailing it, like crushing it.
You can't blame
amazing.
The guy. You can't blame the guy at all.
Yeah, I do it too, but like, I don't like it.
Happy with the outcome of this match because I like the idea of Punk getting his title shot at SummerSlam so that Breakker can get his later, perhaps at WrestleMania.
I don't know. I wonder how long Gunther's going to hold it now. That is an interesting question.
I don't know. He only loses at WrestleMania, right? That's
apparently. I mean, he won one. He won that triple threat that banged. So I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, he did.
He drops titles at Mania.
Yeah. So maybe that's how it goes.
Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Yes. Moving on to SmackDown. Now, SmackDown started with Charlotte Flair and Raquel Rodriguez, which was a very good match. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Raquel got to showcase her strength, which is her biggest, upside. So yeah, great. I think that it looked different to normal because Charlotte is similar in size to Raquel, not quite as big, but definitely bigger than say Alexa Bliss or Liv or Roxanne or any of the other people you normally see Raquel standing next to. So, and it made sense because like she could use her power game, but not completely dominate based off it. The finish came from a double distraction on the outside. So Roxanne gets up to distract the ref, and Raquel tries to capitalize, and then Alexa comes up on the opposite side of the ring and basically outdoes the distraction that Roxanne did, and Flair wins with a roll-up. I'm surprised with the sort of getting more of a babyface reaction Charlotte is.
Yeah, it's God bless her having
Yeah.
that character for once. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Moving on to Carmelo Hayes and Damian Priest. So Carmelo jumps Priest in his entrance to sort of get the upper hand. The match was good, a lot of back and forth, very competitive. Most of Priest's offense, Melo was able to escape. Like a lot of reversals and escapes of Damian's offense. Priest attempts to do the Undertaker's old school on Carmelo Hayes, and it looked good right up until Aleister Black popped up on the apron, swept his feet out from under him, and there's the DQ. Which good. It pushes forward Priest and Black. Where it goes, probably SummerSlam. It makes sense. Solo came out next, cutting a promo on Jacob. A lot of the same old stuff we've heard before. Nothing groundbreaking in the promo. Now, earlier in the show, Jacob got taken into custody by police for a hit and run incident in the car park. And he basically gets released just in time as Solo's cutting his promo. So they do the big shot of him walking in from the car park into the arena. Jimmy Uso sort of gets... You don't actually see it happen because you don't see Jimmy from the car park onwards, but he's come around the other side and basically to the opposite end of the ring so they can attack. All of Solo and his crew. Joe Tessitore mistakes Tungaloa with Tamatonga, but we just cruise straight through it. And Adam Pearce comes out during the brawl and announces that the rematch between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu will be at SummerSlam in a steel cage. So that should be good. Large, violent boys doing large, violent things in a large, violent environment.
Also, Solo Sikoa is hysterical. So
He's
to
so
go from
good.
the totally like quiet, doesn't talk, brooding from like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So funny.
So
like,
much character. Yeah.
So fun.
Like Enforcer is their strong silent type that doesn't really do much in terms of character, but gets to kick people's ass. And now there's so much character coming out with Solo. I think this guy's going to act once he's finished wrestling for sure.
Because he is a real life, like he is the brother of the Usos, right? He's their younger brother, I believe.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, well, I can't believe these guys are related. And now it's like, I can believe these guys are related. Like this is
100%.
Yeah, he seems like an Uso now. I could see it.
Yeah.
That's apparent.
And yeah, I'm liking where this is going because it's just interesting to see like what happens with the character from here on. Next up was a very quick match. Stephanie Vaquer and Alba Fire. Vaquer wins very quickly. Piper Niven runs in after the match. Doesn't really accomplish much. And Stephanie Vaquer stands tall. It was just basically meant to build her up. And And it does that. Like, that's cool. Like, Stephanie Vaquer is over already. So, awesome. We have the last match of the night is our Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match for the tag titles. So you've got DIY, Andrade and Phoenix, Fraxium, and the Machine Guns. It is every bit the beautiful car crash you would expect it to be. On commentary, that right through the whole match, they are putting over the tag team chemistry between Andrade and Phoenix, because they've only had a handful of matches and they've been excellent, all of them. So, and Phoenix gets the win. He pins Tommaso Ciampa to get the win. So now they are number one contenders. They will be challenging the Wyatt Six, and I believe it is on next week's show or this week's show.
Oh yeah.
Main event segment was the contract signing between Cody and John Cena. Oh, don't worry. But your feed just froze on my screen for a bit, and it was that facial
deep
expression.
sigh.
Yeah, it froze on my screen for a good 10 seconds just there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cody comes out, immediately signs the contract before he even picks up the microphone. He just walks in the ring, grabs a pen, signs it. Then grabs a microphone, cuts a promo on how he never flinches except at WrestleMania. So, he didn't flinch in his matches with Brock. He didn't flinch in his matches with Jey Uso or Damian Priest or anyone else he's faced. But he did in WrestleMania against John Cena, and that's sort of what he's building towards. Is now I don't flinch anymore. Cool, man. Cena comes out, tries to get out, try to weasel his way out of SummerSlam, citing his busy movie schedule and emotional exhaustion and a heap of other, LA therapist buzzwords. Because they're the main things I think that have been getting him over as a heel. All the buzzwords that he'll just rattle off. And Cena tries to leave. Cody just chases him down and they brawl. Cody grabs the belt, and they're definitely sort of harking back to that main event WrestleMania moment where he couldn't hit Cena with the belt. And this time, he hit Cena with the belt. He then puts him through a table. So basically lays Cena out on a table, because it was the one for the contract signing, not the dedicated Slim Jim folding table. This was a contract signing table. So there was a tablecloth over the Slim Jim logo, so they couldn't...
we know it's there. We know it's there. I'm surprised there wasn't a Slim Jim tablecloth.
Those few extra bucks from Slim Jim. I'm sure, I don't know, might probably came out of Cody's pay. So now I'm no expert in contract law, but I don't think there's anything valid about Cody grabbing the pen. He
forcing Cena to sign it.
Hand,
yeah.
And then guides his hand over to the contract and there's your signature. And then he announces, because he snuck this into the contract without any consultation from Cena or anyone representing Cena, that their SummerSlam rematch will be a street fight. So yeah, street fight in the main event.
So we can have more interference and stuff now because it's legal.
Yeah.
Great. Tremendous. Amazing. Yeah. I'm annoyed at this because I saw all the stupid discourse online where it's like, oh, you can see the moment where Cody becomes a heel and Cena becomes a face. And it's like, you're dumb and I hate you. The heel is trying to weasel his way out of things by sounding good guy, and the good guy is fed up with it and being like, get back in here. If they're not changing anything. But also, I'm so...
So you're thinking no double turn?
No, I'm not. I don't think there's a double turn.
Mm.
I do not. I do not. I do not. The best you get, I think you get, is Cody turns heel. But I also don't think Cody turns heel because he's worth far too much as a face. And then everyone at the top of your card is heels at that point.
It's the popular consensus at this point for sure. A lot of people, they can feel it coming in the air tonight, oh Lord. But it just... Yeah, for that same reason, I don't think it's going to happen, because it seems like the most obvious road they're going down, so...
Who knows?
It's hard to say.
Who knows? I'm apathetic to Cena with the belt. It just started well, and now it's boring. It didn't even start well. The heel turn started well, and now it's boring.
Yeah. It's hard to say if they're going to... Because obviously they're not going to let Cena retire with the belt. But are they going to take it right down to the very last match before?
Yeah.
Or are they going to take it off him now and give him, last 6 months to go back to babyface John just to bring it home? Either way works. If done right, either way could work. But
people in Perth in October will know. I'll find out. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, I'll do Dynamite really quick. I'm just going to go through the brief. We'll do the Cliff Notes version of this.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of, chatting on this show. First, we start with Hangman Adam Page comes out with a belt to start with, and oh boy, just with in the same jacket he wore when he first won the world title too. Comes out, and the people say they do the you deserve it, and he goes, no, we deserve it. Everyone here deserves this. He thanks all the people that suffered to get him there, to get him to the top of the mountain. He thanks Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson, Adam Copeland, Will Ospreay, all the ops, and then takes a big long pause and then says thank you to Swerve Strickland. Talks about how there are people like John Moxley who would say that I'm weak for being emotional and things like that. And then ends with, if you want to know what kind of man I am, you can look at me right now because I'm the champion of the fucking world. And that was
great.
The perfect little babyface fiery promo. Really, really wonderful. They had Mascarado Dorada and Carl Fletcher after that. Carl Fletcher wins nice and quickly. Starts doing the Dustin Rhodes, I'm going to come kick your ass real soon. Count down those days, old man. I'm coming for you. The Bucks get their kind of dose of reality where they're no longer EVPs, which means they're immediately poor now. They're doing sad Corbin, bum ass Corbin. They got to get an Uber. No one carries their bags. They don't have their own dressing room anymore. This kind of silliness.
The entrance was.
The entrance, they come out, they have no pyro. They have Comic Sans font that says their names wrong.
Nick, yeah.
Yeah, no EVP with the big X through it.
Yeah.
And then their little their chevron thing that pops up that said no longer EVPs. Also, they lost. So silly. MJF and the Hurt Syndicate have a nice chat. MJF running down Hangman, being I'm going to be your depression. I'm going to put you back into that dark place. MVP begging for some legendary competition to try and beat his big boys, which could mean very much either Cope and Christian or FTR. Either would be fantastic. There's a big crazy 8-man match, which is Bandito, Jet Speed, Brody King, the Young Bucks, Hechicero, and Josh Alexander. Crazy, ridiculous, everywhere, all over the place, lunatic match, as is the All-Star match style for... there's this wonderful bit where the Young Bucks go to hit the EVP trigger, but they can't because they're not EVPs anymore. They're oh shit, what do we call it? We can't say the thing to do it.
They don't have BTE anymore.
Yep, exactly. So ridiculous. Hechicero actually put Bandito to sleep to win that match for the heels. So maybe we'll see Hechicero and Bandito at some point soon for the ROH title. Yes.
Yeah, I think they were building that for the ROH world title, yeah.
Yes, please. Adam Copeland comes out to talk about why he saved Christian. He goes, I didn't really come out here to save Christian. He's like, I came out there to beat up FTR because they were the guys that put me out. He's like, I wanted to get my hands on them. He's like, it would be insane for me to immediately trust Christian. He's clearly a scumbag. But if he can figure his life out, then maybe we could sort something out and beat these boys out. And then Stokely comes out to talk a bunch of shit and says, this contract says you'll be fined and suspended if you assault FTR. And he goes, this is crazy. This doesn't say anything about you. Spears Stokely. Huzzah. Everyone gets to be happy. Mark Briscoe is still calling out MJF. We're still furthering that rivalry there. I will make you pay for your sins is how he ends that one, which is really, really cool. Mark Briscoe continues to be awesome. There's a $100,000 women's four-way. Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, Tekla. Nice to get all these kind of rivalries in one match. Phenomenal match by all four women. Tekla actually pins Queen Aminata to win that one in the end with some assistance from Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So it seems like we're going to get like Goth Girl faction. I'm for it.
Now, just a quick little side note.
Yes.
Queen Aminata.
Yes.
Yes. Now we've seen the.
God damn it! I know where this is coming.
We've seen the rise in popularity of Stephanie Vaquer's Humpy Pumpy move, and Queen Aminata now. She's attempted a similar variation of the move,
but she rams their head into her ass. Yeah.
And calls it the chocolate kisses. Yeah. And you can tell, like, the commentators are uncomfortable saying that on air. And that makes it so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they know what she wants the move named, but they're not happy about it.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
It's like, yeah, and Excalibur's like, yeah, she calls it the chocolate kisses. Okay. Moving right along.
Speaking of insanely inappropriate people, Timeless Tony Storm is out next on one of the balconies of this grand theater that they're in. Talks about defeating Mercedes Moné and her big kiss. Then exclamations that with, okay, enough of this gay banter. This champ is still the champ, obviously. Thank you for going all in with me. We did everything we set out to do, but in case she forgot, I did say before that if she made one false move, I would eat her alive. And well, darling, you were delicious. God bless Tony Storm, the absolute lunatic. Then Athena gets to come out and make her presence known as well. Like, I'm gonna be right here, reminds like Mina Shirakawa won't be around to help you. She decided to try and like step to me, and I bounced her head off my shoulder. Tony is thoroughly unshaken. Very well. If you are ready, I will be sweaty. If you are willing, I will be thrilling. And if you are able, I will bend you over the table because I am timeless. Bless you, Tony Storm. That match is gonna rule. Very, very fun. Nick Wayne justifies killing off Christian Cage. I don't know what he said. Couldn't tell you what he said. Because if you've seen what this segment looks like, the only thing you can see through all of this is, respectfully, Mama Wayne. Good Lord. Just on full display. So I think she's now the one in charge. They're calling it the matriarchy, which I think is fantastic. I love that both of them, like both Nick and Kip Sabian, that's it. Those like, yeah, he's a dick. He sucked. We got rid of him real fast. And it's one of those heel turns where you're like, yeah, makes sense to me. Okada comes out, new entrance music, done by a Japanese rock band. Beats like a enhancement talent real fast. Then he calls out Swerve Strickland. He says, Swerve, you screwed my friends, the Young Bucks. And then out comes Swerve in all of it, like in a full suit with Nana, with all of his swag and confidence, and gets right up in his face and says, I did do that. What are you going to do about it, bitch? And like, yes, I will take Okada versus Swerve all goddamn day. All goddamn day. And then the main event is a trios match with Hangman Adam Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe versus John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. Because apparently they're all still able. And it's exactly what an AEW Dynamite Trios tag match is like. It's all action, all lunacy, all the time. It's the idea that even though they've won the belt, they still have to like beat the Death Riders for good, while the Death Riders are trying to like get their licks back and get their revenge, and are clearly pissed off and angry. It's kind of very much all over the place of absolute lunacy. Hobbs looks real strong in this. I mean, he is real strong, but looks really good. And then we got this, I think it was just like a jackknife pin. Hangman gets Claudio with, pins him up. Death Riders try to ambush him. But then Hobbs and Briscoe run back in to kind of run them off. And as well as Darby Allin descending again from the rafters. He said that he's going to kill off the Death Riders. And then we get Moxley blasted with another buckshot lariat to end the show. As well as Hobbs spending a good amount of time looking down at the AEW Men's World Championship in Hangman's hand. So we might be getting Hobbs going. I think I want a bigger golder belt. And that is how that show went off the air. It is a very, very fun show. It had some very, very fun moments. And it's building to what, like, if the answer is, oh man, what's going to happen now that All In's passed? It's like, oh, we're getting swerved via Okada? Oh, we're good. We'll be fine. Athena and Tony? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. This will be good. We're okay. No problem. Momentum keeps on keeping on. Thank God. Speaking of really, really amazing matches for Mr. Kazuchika Okada, he is going to feature in my match recommendation tentatively. This is a match that if you go into with context is slightly hard to watch. It's slightly easier now that everything has turned out okay afterwards. But for a long time, it was very, very scary. The match I would like to recommend to people to go and see is Kazuchika Okada versus Katsuyori Shibata from 2017. I believe it's Sakura Genesis in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It is about as hard-hitting as a match can be. I think it is very much the idea of like, okay, Okada, you're meant to be the guy now. Prove it. And Katsuyori Shibata kicks the crap out of him. Like, kicks him everywhere, chops him mercilessly. He hits his own version of the Rainmaker, which is a slap across the face, and he hits he does the ripcord bit and does the full, and then just slaps this poor man so hard in the face. People in line dubbed it the Bitch Maker, and I agree. It's brutal. And at one point in the match as well, hits Okada with several shoot headbutts. Just headbutts him fully with his head. Blood trickles out of his head. It is an insanely hard-hitting match. It is one of those things where Shibata actually suffered brain damage from it and could not wrestle for a long time afterwards. Is obviously able to now these days. But it was one of those matches for a long time where you're like, that was amazing. Please never do that again.
Reminded everyone that the classic, Japanese strong style does have a distinct downside.
Yeah.
And that is people get hurt badly.
Yeah. It is he discovered it was a subdural hematoma, which is bleeding on the brain. He was paralyzed for a while. It's scary, but with the hindsight of, hey man, he's okay. It's a really good match. It is 38 minutes of wrestling for New Japan's top title between two of the absolute best. And if you're okay with watching some slightly too realistic violence for pro wrestling, then it does get my slightly squeamish and tentative recommendation to you.
There it is. Matty's YouTube pick of the week is an absolute banger. But yes, unfortunately, it is time for us to go for this week. Thank you so much for watching and listening and joining in the fun of pro wrestling, because there's a lot of fun has recently been had and there's a lot more to come. So on behalf of my co-host, he is Matty, I am Steve, you are loved, and we will see you next time.
Bye, Nan.